What's good, people? Yeah, I figure since I'm a black man from and in Kentucky, I'll make myself useful and give some updates on the national attention that we've gotten as of late. As everybody probably already seen, the FBI has arrested 4 officers in connection with the killing of Breonna Taylor. And they already have one who done already spilt the beans. The white female officer, they got her first, and she's already said they falsified all the warrants and all that kind of stuff. I know, or whatever. Like, I already know white folks don't know nothing about no G code. They're like, everybody be quiet, nobody get in trouble or whatever. Like, nah, the first available to snitch is gonna snitch. So like, I already knew as soon as I saw that they said one is pleading guilty and they showed her pleading guilty, I was sitting over like, oh, she's gonna tell it. She gonna tell it. I start singing old church hymns. You remember that old church hymn? When the Lord has blessed your soul, why don't you tell it? Tell it. When he's made your whole, why don't you tell it? Well, as soon as I seen that, I was like, after she gonna tell it, I was like, if they tell her she ain't gotta go, she's gonna tell it. Tell it. If they tell her get early parole, she's gonna tell it. Everything that happened that day, she's gonna tell it. Tell it. Best believe she gonna make a way. She's gonna tell it. Oh, she gonna tell it. Gonna tell it everywhere, everywhere, 'cause she know where to go. In the pen, she'll be a hoe. Now, I knew she was gonna tell it, but it don't take much to figure out why they did all this. But for those of you that really are not really familiar with this kind of stuff, I lived in the city of Louisville I moved up there right after high school. I lived there from like 17 to like 35. And while I lived up there, I didn't live in no nice part of Louisville. I lived in the Clarksdale Projects. I lived in Norfolk. I lived on 28th Street. I lived on Penway off of Algonquin. Everything was hood. So I ain't never been no dope boy, but I've been involved in the Commonwealth system and had plenty of experiences with the Louisville Metro Police Department. I ain't even gonna make this video that long, but let's just say, but I know dope boys and shit. I know plenty of them, and I got plenty of stories as far as that kind of shit. And as far as Breonna Taylor, there's been a whole bunch of Breonna Taylors. It's just now because of social media, it made national news. But you know how many stories we done heard of things like, okay, yeah, you hear such and such got popped? Like, nah, what happened? Yeah, they got him popped. They got him charged with like 4 ounces of dope and like $20,000. What? Damn. Thing is, he had a half a key of dope and $100,000. Dude, there was one guy that they say that stood up in court when they announced how much they was charging with. He stood up and said, "Nah, I had more than that." I don't think they investigated no cops or nothing. They just locked this crazy ass up. But that what was going down. No knock warrant, no body cams on or whatever. That night was supposed to be a payday. See, Breonna Taylor's ex-boyfriend was a heavy dope boy. And yes, Breonna Taylor was involved in him and holding for him and being a storage place for him at one particular time. This is before the new boyfriend came, the one that shot the showing that was there that night and shot the cop. But they had already got him. In their mind, this was a storage place for dude, the old boyfriend. They were thinking they were going to go in there, dope, money, everything, and this was going to be a payday. They going to go in there and get just enough to make a legitimate bust and load up their little duffel bags of what they gonna take home of the money and the dope and whatever, and after it's all over, they're gonna go have a freak party with cocaine, X, and money and everything else. This ain't just talking no speculation shit. I know this probably sounds like something you hear off of American Gangster or Training Day, but no, this shit really happens, and I have enough stories and know enough people about the Louisville Metro Police Department to know this. Before that shit came out in social media, We didn't even know nothing about. I'm here in Kentucky. You know, I'm not in Louisville anymore. After my divorce, I moved to Lexington, 70 miles east of Louisville. But I still keep up with everybody up there. I still on and off up there or whatever. You know, it's only 70 miles up the road. You know, it's an hour drive that I can make in 45 minutes. Breonna Taylor had been dead for months. I had heard nothing about this. When I was on Twitter, this was before my Twitter account got suspended, and like putting this kind of stuff out is one of the things that we do. And somebody just tagged me to this because they knew I was from Kentucky, and I said, "What the fuck is this?" And I started sending the little meme that somebody made that this is Breonna Taylor and this happened and this happened, and I'm calling people in Louisville and sending the people to Louisville and saying, "Man, do you know anything about this?" Like everybody like, "No, I ain't heard nothing about it. No, I ain't heard nothing about it." And they in Louisville. There was like one person I talked to, I saw something about it some months ago, but I ain't saying it because that kind of shit happens so much, it's just on the news and off. I remember a man named John Taylor. This is my first protest that I've ever been involved in when I was up there. A man named John Taylor, the Louisville Metro Police Department shot him 12 times with his handcuffs behind his back. And the police didn't even it was a black lawyer that got them off, or they didn't even have to get indicted. They didn't even do a trial or nothing. They said it was self-defense. He handcuffed behind his back, but and he grabbed the box cutter and came at him, and then shot him 12 times, killed him in handcuffs. They weren't even supposed to go. They weren't even supposed to be at his apartment. They're at the apartment next door. They hear a noise or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, he was smoking crack." Yeah, he was over smoking crack, but he was smoking crack by the goddamn self, minding his own business. Y'all came over fucking with him and killed him. But as far as the dope boy shit, man, I can tell you them stories, man, all day long. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing. And I ain't saying this is no race stuff. This ain't no black cop, white cop stuff. When I was up there, it was just cops. You know, the black cops just bigger dicks as the white cops. Like this, I ain't making the Louisville Metro Police Department, my experience with them, I ain't making that no race issue. It's just cops, fucked up, crooked ass cops. And I was happy as hell to see that somebody had finally like brought something to the attention of these crooked motherfuckers. I can sit here and I got stories of my own I can tell or whatever, but I'm not trying to make this no long ass video. That was supposed to be a payday for them, and everything was straight. But old girl gonna tell it, and it's finally coming out. Our chalk mouth Attorney General Daniel Cameron, Big McConnell's little illegitimate son or whatever the hell he is, the little chalk mouth hopping Bob Sambo we got for Attorney General down here. He's still trying to take over the cops about what the federal government has nothing to do with the investigation here. We're still in Kentucky. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck them. Now, yes. Now, okay, I think I've covered everything as far as Breonna Taylor. Now, let's get to Grandmaster Jay. I don't know what the hell they done did with Jay. Jay was scheduled for sentencing Monday, August 22nd at 11 a.m. I ain't heard shit word of Jay. Now, they trying to make it seem like it was Grandmaster Jay pointing his gun in there or whatever that got him in trouble, and that's why they got him. I know they said he might be doing a minimum of 7 years, and somebody from Cincinnati just inboxed me and said he saw something or whatever that said something about they think he got the 7 to 8 years, and I saw we're supposed to be a good appeal, but I have saw no news, heard nothing, nobody from up there. You go on to the LaGrange where they had him held at, the inmate stuff, all that stuff, can't find nothing on Jay. There were some people, because I ain't never believed that he's a agent shit or whatever. Like I think I figured that was somebody like people just biting off Tariq Nasheed, you know what I'm saying? Every time somebody gets in the spotlight, he got to chew him down to make sure he keeps the head spot. But I don't know, this nigga done disappeared. But like, I'm gonna tell you right now, that thing holding a gun in their ass had nothing to do with nothing. That ain't got shit to do with why they locked Jay up. It was all this mouth. The first time the NFAC came to Louisville, they got Grandmaster Jay hemmed up. All this old mouth. The first thing, now those of us that from Louisville experienced, from the Commonwealth of Kentucky, like we already know Some people don't know. I'll tell you right now, here in Kentucky, we probably the most oppressed niggas in the country. Like I don't think there's nowhere you gonna go where we go like where you find niggas more oppressed than Kentucky. You know, we've been under the dictatorship of Mitch McConnell since 1985, and that's my life. That's all I remember. I don't remember nothing but that old fucker ain't gonna never die. I don't know what the hell. But anyway, when they first came down here, Grandmaster Jay, like the first thing I heard, like I was on, this is when I was real heavy on Black Twitter, and when I saw Grandmaster Jay and them at down at Stone Mountain in Atlanta, I was hyped. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I've been talking about. That's when finally somebody stepping up and whoop the whoop and yeah, and this is it, and this is what I've been saying. And then somebody hit me. It was like, man, you remember him? And I was like, what are you talking about? I said, no, he said, no, he used to chime in with us on Black Twitter or whatever. He used to come in, and now I'm really hyped. I'm like, oh, okay, we've interacted with this dude. Okay, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So, like, everything of the NFAC come to Louisville, I was Twitter, NFAC, Louisville, this and the other. And Grandmaster Jay from his account was retweeting it. And every NFAC account, everything that I said or whatever. So I'm like, okay, he sees this. So I actually wanted the opportunity to meet Grandmaster Jay. And I was mad because like I was a quality inspector for automotive company at the time. And they called for a mandatory Saturday, which was the same Saturday the NFAC came to Louisville for the first time. So like, I actually wanted to see if I could get a chance to meet him. Like, what's up, brother? We've been active on Twitter, and I appreciate what you're doing, blah blah blah, or whatever. Because like, we don't get no help, here in Kentucky. When that guy James Taylor did I call him John Taylor before? It was James Taylor. His name was James Taylor. If you want to look up the whole story, you can Google James Taylor shot 12 times, Louisville Metro Police Department. But like in that situation, Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson came down here, and so when they came down here, when they got the little feel of the vibe of the environment, they was like, man, fuck these niggas, they ain't gonna do nothing, and they got on that plane and left. So when Grandmaster Jay was talking about when we come back, we want y'all to have guns. I'm like, man, nigga, that was a lost cause. Like where he was at, from that area downtown to the east end, that strip all the way down to the west end or whatever. The only motherfuckers that got guns is felons. They ain't coming out there to do nothing. Everybody like that's why we were so and all like we know how they get down here. So like I didn't think Grandmaster Jay and them was making it out the first time, but they had so many people with them that they didn't want to start no motherfucking war. But like when he was saying what he said, things he said was against the law down this motherfucker. You can't get it in front of TVs and talk about when we come back and make like intimidating statements towards the attorney general who's over the Louisville FBI, which is in laws with Mitch McConnell, that's the Senate Majority Leader at the time or whatever. Like who do you think he is? Like when I realized who he was, I'm like, man, this is the DJ from Team Summit. BET back in the day when we was young, talking about Grandmaster, like a DJ with a bunch of niggas with guns will come down here and talk about I told my people to find this Daniel Cameron, your attorney general, and bring him before me. I was like, dude, I swear I'm not trying to hate on Jay, but dude, I was like, who the fuck? Because I told you, I was all in support of him, but like, who the fuck he think he is? Like who's this nigga? And like, so now he's on the step of the Metro Council. Now he's giving the whole speech. The first thing I saw, now I saw the whole speech later on. Somebody posted it online, and Jay said a lot of good stuff. But when the news media got done with it, all I heard was stuff like, we give them 4 weeks, and if we don't like what we heard, we coming back, and we wouldn't want to be in their shoes. And all that kind of shit. And what you say? Then when they talking about maybe burn it down, I'm like, did this nigga just stand on the steps of the Metro Council in front of news cameras and start talking about burning down the city? That's when Daniel Cameron met with him and this, that, and the other, whoop, whoop. That's when they made a decision. If that nigga and them niggas with them guns come back to Louisville, we are going to find something to lock this man up immediately. Not immediately, but we going to get him. Like, he's talking all this stuff. Because when they came back, you notice when they came back, they had fuckers everywhere. Because, like, this whole talk of branding the Kentucky Derby, boycotting the Kentucky Derby. Now, people had already tried that with the Antoinette Houston thing or whatever. Black people in Louisville, Churchill Downs, that's not black people's derby. You know, black people have their own derby. They ain't got nothing to do with them horses down there. So, like, that was nothing. You know what I'm saying? And me and my partner was even talking about it. I think you can go back and look when we was talking about it because, I think on some Great Minds Think Alike stuff, everybody started thinking about it. But we was one of the first ones to be like, man, only way that would work if the protesters, like, put a blockade around Churchill Downs where people couldn't even get in and make them lose money and all that kind of stuff. But, like, once they canceled, they said they did it because of COVID, but nah, they did it because of all the rumors. Because I had put that out on Twitter, and people was tagging me to the Louisville FBI and to Churchill Downs Security and the Louisville Metro Police Department, and I got all these funny accounts asking me all kind of funny questions about it, and they look like they some kind of military accounts and National Guard accounts and all this kind of shit. Where fucking I just ended up taking the shit down. But then when I was like, ain't no point of it now because ain't no fans going to be in there. So there really wasn't no reason for the NFAC to come back here other than be like, yeah, we're back, and what you gonna do? Because the people of Louisville was actually expecting, because Grandmaster Jay was acting all like after so long, I started seeing the narcissism in Grandmaster Jay. Like, this is about him. Like, all this, he wants to be some kind of known figure in the end, as far as he wants to be a Malcolm or something. And that's where he fucked up when he made it all about him. Because, like, when the Panthers was doing their thing, they didn't center it on no one motherfucker. You might have heard Huey talking over here. You might have heard Bobby Seale talking over here. In Chicago, you might have heard Fran Hampton talking. You might have heard H. Rap Brown talking. Anywhere, this, that, and the other. Everybody, they just kept it chapter and spreading around. It wasn't just one motherfucker. Like, he trying to be like Farrakhan to the Nation of Islam or something. But all that mouth is what got him in trouble. All that old stuff, like thinking, like talking like he's gonna bully, he didn't know where he was at. Like, he thought he was coming down here to Kentucky to some old run up on Roscoe P. Coltrane and Boss Hog Dukes of Hazzard type shit or something. That's all I can think. But, like, because I got a buddy down here. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky right now. I got a buddy down here right now that's a member of the NFAC, and there's a group up here in Louisville that Jay started a chapter or whatever. But I don't know if there's any NFAC now. I don't know. I don't know if I step, but it's like our liberation ain't gonna come from just a bunch of niggas having guns. Like, I don't know what I don't know, man. But all that focus on the pointing in the air thing, that had nothing to do with it. They probably had 1,000 pictures scattered out of okay, I've got all kind of pictures of Jay and NFAC. Let's find something to hem this nigga up because we knew if he come back talking all this stuff or whatever. And that might be why they're keeping everything under the wraps, because they think he got these thousands and thousands of people ready to come storm the jails or something or whatever if he gets out. I know it ain't that serious, but they don't. Because, like, when he was talking about burning down Louisville, they came in, when he came back the second time, they came in him, what was this you talking about? And that's when he got out. No, I was being hypothetical. I was being, all that. I was talking about burning down the system. I was talking about, like, nah, man, like all that old hip hop shit. You can't be metaphorical and literal with the motherfucking feds. These white folks and no chalk mouth Daniel Cameron. That's where the fuck up was. So, like, as far as where Jay is now, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they did with Jay, but I know he's supposed to be, whatever it is, he's supposed to be filing an appeal. Because I do, regardless and all that stuff, the man don't deserve to do one day in prison. He didn't do nothing but run his mouth too much. But here was his narcissism, and like everybody that I've supported, once I start seeing, even like Umar Johnson's school, like as soon as he started that, I was like, oh, this brother, when he was coming to Kentucky, I was telling everybody, hey, check his brother out, you know what I'm saying? He be talking some real stuff, and I still think he talks some real stuff or whatever, but some of his antics when he got to, I'm the Prince of Pan-African nigga, I'm the Papa and all that kind of shit, or like when Tariq went from, like, young people, I was, when I was happy to hear young people in reference to black enlightenment. You know, have you seen Hidden Colors? And I'm glad to see them putting something in their brain besides rap music or gangster rap and shit. But like when Tariq is just doing like after so long, it's just about him or anybody, not singling nobody out, just name like everybody catches that narcissistic nigga virus. And this particular time, it got someone in trouble, being Grandmaster Jay that they got in trouble. But like I said, I don't know. You know, as far as justice for Breonna Taylor, I don't know if that's what you're going to consider this coming, I know, or whatever. But like, sometimes I look at this stuff and this might be all just some smoke and mirrors for the black vote for the next election. During this administration, we've got the man that killed George Floyd. During this administration, we got the man that killed the men that killed Ahmaud Arbery. During this administration, we've got the cops that got Breonna Taylor. Like it's like it's trying to show us, hey, they're getting rid of systemic racism. But that's about it. If I hear anything else on Jay, I'll keep y'all updated. Anything else I have on the Louisville Metro Police Department, I'll keep you updated. And I might even do a video telling you some of the funny stories of my situations with the Louisville Metro Police Department. But, you know, like I said, I'm glad to see the national attention of police department who I watch blatantly get away with all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just driving from A to B in Louisville, you ain't got to be doing nothing. You ain't got to be riding dirty or whatever, but you scared as hell. I was like, y'all ready? It's all like Mission Impossible. Dun, 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 just to get from here to the store and back without getting pulled over or fucked with. But I ran this a little longer than I wanted to. Didn't want to make too long of a video. But yeah, like I said, I'll keep everybody in touch on what goes down here. Since I'm down here, I'll make myself useful to the rest of the country because other than college basketball, whiskey and racehorses, about all the country gets out of Kentucky. So, peace.